What's up, guys? Welcome back to Healthy Recipe. I'm going to be bringing you guys today a beautiful soup recipe. We're going to make it with the new pressure cooker. It's going to be chicken with a whole bunch of different vegetables. We're going to add some cilantro and some nice spices. We're going to put it in the pressure cooker. Really simple, super healthy recipe. It's going to be also low carb. And we're going to be using some Zoodles that we're going to be making with our Zoodle maker to keep it extra low carb. Delicious, healthy, loaded with phytonutrients as always. So let's get right to work. Okay, so let's go over all the ingredients that we have here to work with today. There's a lot of veggies here. Most of this is actually from my backyard. It's winter. In the winter here in Florida, we get a lot of cilantro. We get this is kale, bok choy, which is one of my favorites. All this stuff is actually from my home garden, which is awesome. I love being able to pick my own veggies. If you guys can grow these green vegetables, I highly suggest it. They're loaded with phytonutrients, vitamins, minerals to help prevent disease, and also chlorophyll. This is some really good stuff to eat. Tons of fiber. It's a superfood. And it grows like a weed almost. I mean, kale and bok choy both really take almost no work. Just get a little bit of dirt. If you live in a bad place where the dirt is not good, like in Florida, our dirt is mostly shale and sand, so we had to bring dirt in. And we just grew our own little box raised bed garden, and we get all this great stuff all year round. We just switch up the crops. So just a little insight on that. If you guys can do it, I highly suggest it. Organic, and it's free. So, and it gives you something to do. It's a lot of fun. So we have here, the first ingredient is I have about 1 full cup of baby portobellos, and I just cut these in half and then sliced them. I have about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 chicken drumsticks. These are Harvestland, Purdue. They say they're non-antibiotics, vegetarian diet, and they're also cage-free. This is something that I use from time to time, and it's a really delicious spice combination that they use in a lot of Asian soups like pho and sometimes ramen. This is star anise. I have about 2 cloves. I have some allspice here, and about 6 of these little clove nails. I think they're called cloves also. I have about 6 of those. So star anise, clove, and allspice. And that basically, I just put that into the soup, and it's going to give it a distinct flavor. Really good combination. If you ever had pho, the broth, that's kind of like the underlying flavor that's in that. It's usually these spices. I also have some scallions here, fresh cilantro, some kale, and I'm using a bunch of bok choy. Like I said, this is a really nourishing soup full of really good phytonutrients. This is the kind of stuff that you should always be eating. Feed your body vitamins and minerals and nutrients, not empty calories like white bread and things that are really just calories with nothing in them. I got 1 zucchini, and this is what I'll be using for the noodles that I'll be making. I'm using my homemade spicy oil. This is actually chili oil. I love it on my soups. It gives it that Asian type of like flavor. It's actually sesame oil and peanut oil. I have a recipe for this. If you guys want to see it, I'll put it on the iCard above. Minced garlic, of course, one of my favorite ingredients. I have 1 full-size jalapeno, about 1.5 cups of minced red onion, and 1 Roma tomato. So the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna take and chop up our veggies and put it in a container. Okay, so the kale, basically what I like to do with it is once you clean it up, what I do is I take my knife and I run it across the vein right here. There's like a main artery in the center of the leaf, and I just strip the leaves off because this is actually pretty tough and it's got some bitterness in this big stem here. So I trim that off and I just keep the leaves. That's what I like to use. And kale is an excellent vegetable to get into eating on a regular basis. Like I said, this type of food is what keeps your cells healthy, so it can prevent disease with all the antioxidants and stuff in it. A lot of greens. So basically I just take the leaves, I'm going to bunch them up, and I'm just going to cut them kind of rough. Don't have to be anything special. I just want this to cook in my broth so we can get all those vitamins in our soup. So next we're going to do our bok choy. And I like to cut this piece of the stem off. Sometimes it's bitter depending on how old the plant is. Once they get a little bit older, those big thick stems on the bottom have some bitterness to them. So about 1-inch pieces on this. This one was getting bit a little bit already by the bugs out there. A bok choy, like this type of bok choy grows pretty fast. It's actually really easy to plant and just allow it to grow like a weed. I mean, it's just in a couple of days. I say 20 to 25 days, you already got plants this big ready to eat. That's pretty awesome. Throw these little stems out. And we got tons. I mean, I've made so many meals with this. Sometimes I'll take these heads and I'll throw them in my smoothies in the morning. I'll make a smoothie with some protein powder. I'll throw in some peanut butter, some natural chocolate, and I'll throw a head of bok choy in there. Right, now we're gonna do our cilantro. And with the cilantro, I like to use all of it. I use the stem. This is pretty young cilantro, so the stems are not very tough. Chop it up real fine and just throw it all in the food, the soup. This will give some great flavor. And we'll throw that in the end, the cilantro. With the jalapeno, I just cut it. And this I'm going to actually use raw for garnish at the end. I'm going to put it in just to give it some extra spice. I love the flavor of jalapenos. To me, this is one of like the best tasting peppers. It's not as hot as some of the others, but the flavor is just, to me, is amazing. I'm going to take the core out. Just going to cut it to little cubes. Okay, so our tomato, we're just going to cut it down the middle. And this is gonna be, I'm gonna throw it in with the aromatics in the beginning. So I just cut it, just dice it into little cubes. Nothing major is gonna break down. Doesn't need any special presentation. Okay guys, so I don't know if you saw my video on this little device, but this is called the Cali Chef Zoodle Maker Spiralizer, and this thing is awesome. You can make all kinds of you know, zucchini noodles or whatever other veggie strings you want. It comes with three different types of blades that, you know, you store away right here, and you just put it on. Basically take your vegetable, you can do potato strings, you can do all kinds of stuff with this. So basically I'm going to just take my my zucchini, cut both ends. Then it's got these little spikes on the back right here. And then it's got a little holder in the front there. And basically what you do is you hold it and you spin. Well, actually, let me get you guys a better view here so you can see how they come out in the end. And there's my Zoodles, and it's super fast. I used to have one of those cone-shaped generic ones when they first came out, and I could tell you this thing is so much better. It's 20 bucks on Amazon. I'll put the link below if you guys want to get one for yourselves, but it's awesome. If you're doing a keto diet, or if you just want to eat Zoodles, you don't have to be doing a keto low-carb diet. Zoodles, to me, I think that they're delicious. If you want to change from noodles, you know, or pasta, you can always make these. These are awesome. So basically, they come out the other side like that. Yeah, you just keep pushing. You gotta kind of sometimes cut them, because if not, it'll make one big long noodle. And because zucchini is so tender and it cooks so easily, what I'll actually do with this is I'll put it raw in the bowl, and then I'll put the broth and the rest of the soup with it after. I don't like to cook it too much, because it gets very, very mushy very quickly. Especially when it's cut this thin. How fast it did that. That's pretty quick. That pretty much used all of it. These little pieces are also really good. It's just zucchini, so no waste here. So basically, out of that one zucchini, we got that big pile of Zoodles pretty quickly. Go ahead and cut some of these little center pieces. Make them smaller. They actually look like a spiral pasta or something like that, so it's pretty cool. So now, got our noodles ready. I'm gonna set these aside also. Actually, let me put them in a bowl here. And I take my scallions. These I will use also for garnish. And some of them I'll put in the soup also at the end. Set these guys aside for garnish. And I'll bring you guys over to the pressure cooker so we can get this show on the road. Okay, we're gonna add our onion. Now I'm going to add some mushrooms in. So that beeping sound is basically saying that the saute function is up to heat. Now I'm going to go ahead and throw in some of our chicken. Okay, so basically we're just gonna brown the chicken off for a little bit, and then we'll come back and add more ingredients. Alright, so now that we got the chicken pretty much browned a little bit, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and deglaze the bottom of the pot. This is where a lot of the flavor is. See that brown, those brown bits that stick to the bottom? That has really a lot of flavor and caramelization. So what I do is I'm gonna go ahead and add my water. I'm using water. Normally I use chicken broth, but because this is actually a pressure cooker, we're gonna get plenty of broth out of this chicken. Is going to draw all that flavor, so we're not going to need it. So I'm going to add enough water just to cover it. I think it's about 10 cups of water according to the marker there. So to that, now we're going to add our spices, our Asian spices. About maybe 3 tablespoons or so of soy sauce. I'm going to go ahead and add in our hot peppers. Stir everything up. Gonna add some of our scallions and some of our cilantro. And now we're gonna add all our greens in. Our kale and our bok choy. This is going to reduce down. I know it looks like a lot, but once it gets cooking, it's going to be almost nothing there. Alright, so now that we got everything in the pressure cooker, basically we're just going to pressure cook this for about 1 hour. It's going to be super tender, the chicken, and we're going to draw out all of that collagen that's so good for you out of those chicken bones, and it's going to make a nice, nutritious, really healthy soup. So basically, to turn this on, basically what we're going to do, let me show you guys here. Oh, not yet. So I'm basically going to just put this on. Let me see what we got here. This will do soup. Let me see. Can't stop. It's got some pre-programmed already. Let's see what it gives us when we press soup. So soup gives us 25 minutes. That's really interesting. I want to try it. I'm going to go ahead and hit start and see if it makes a great soup in 25 minutes, which is really quick. So go ahead and lock it. Now we got our pressure device working. The little thing down here at the bottom, the spinning, is actually how it builds up pressure. It's going to build pressure first, and then our timer will start. So while this is going, it's just building up the pressure inside. So basically, I'm going to give it a shot. Let's see what happens. It's pretty fast for a soup, but if I can do it, if I can save time, sure, I would love that. So we'll be back in 25 minutes to let the pressure out and see what the soup came out like. Alright guys, so the timer's off, so I'm going to let out some of the pressure. Place it like that, and it's going to let out all the steam so we can open the lid. Alright, so now that basically this is cooled off, I'm going to go ahead and open it up, and there is our soup. Let's see, stir it up and see how it came out. Oh, I can tell you that this is definitely cooked all the way through. Wow. Let's see the chicken. Oh yeah. Cooked really good, really tender. The chicken's falling right off the bone. And in 25 minutes. So basically in 25 minutes this pressure cooker did what you would normally do in a few hours. The aroma of those Asian spices that I put in there, the clove and the anise, smells amazing. I mean, wow. It's just like a really, really different aroma. It just smells so good. So I'm going to go ahead and serve these. I'm going to serve the soup. I'm going to put it over our noodles, and I'll show you guys how I do that. Okay, so basically this is what I did, guys. Let me show you. I took the noodles and I put them down, and then I poured the hot boiling soup right over them, and that's basically going to cook our noodles nice and tender, just right. Then I added the chopped cilantro fresh and some of the scallions, the chopped scallions over the top of it, and that's basically what our soup looks like. I also added my hot sesame oil. Stuff is delicious. So it's a super healthy, hearty soup loaded with nutrients. It's really, really smells super aromatic. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Oh, if you like to get one of the Cosori pressure cookers like the one in the video, mine is a 6-quart. I'll put the link below so you guys can order it. This thing really is amazing. I'll be doing a lot more recipe videos with it in the future. So like I said, if you guys like the video, give us a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys really soon on the next one. Alright guys, so I'm going to go ahead and give this soup a try, see what it came out like. It smells amazing. You guys really should try that spice combination that I showed you. It really does create some different and amazing flavors. Wow, so good. Like I said, the spices, the undertone flavor of those anise and the other spices makes it taste so good. It's different from any other soup. The noodles are just right. They got a little bit of bite to them, but they're not mushy. The sesame seed oil really gives it a nice nutty flavor. Try a little piece of chicken. This is really delicious. The amazing part is that everything's cooked really perfect. I mean, the bok choy is really, really soft and delicious. It still has a ton of flavor, and it did it all in like 25 minutes. This is an amazing, really delicious, healthy soup.